Alright, stops at break even, guys. Stops at break even. We're just taking out that short-term low. We should see an acceleration to that first point of sell side at 22,161. Once we get an acceleration to 161, I'm going to close out. Alright, first TP smashed. Okay, so first TP smashed. So as of now, close out 50 to 60% of your position. Leave your stops at break even. So even if your break even is here at 19150, just leave your stops there. But we've secured around 30 handles so far. So let's see how the rest of this trade plays out. We got our final TP at the previous day low. Guys, I forgot to screen record that trade, but who cares? I've screen recorded as much as I can so far. I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway. But I'll upload this live stream afterwards on YouTube so you guys can rewatch this. But that was a clean short of the IFA value gap inside of macro. We just waited for our entry inside macro, and you can see as soon as we enter inside of macro, understand that price action isn't the cleanest today, and everyone already knows that. But you can see that as soon as we enter inside of macro, boom, your entry, IFA value gap, and then it gave you one more entry and it's off. Even though it was relatively slow and it feels like you're waiting forever, price did slowly start to move to the short-term low, and then we trailed our stops at break even, and we have our point of sell side at 22,161. This is where we took our first TP, and I've got final at previous day low, which is a major draw for price. So this bearish fair value gap here should get respected, and if it doesn't, if this gets inversed, we're going back to break even, and that'll be us taken out for this short. Bro, I only have one lot open, can't close 50%, waiting for full TP only. So what platform are you actually trading on to trade one lot? Are you trading with a... Is it with a Forex prop firm? You're trading US 100? Yeah, I know it's on TradingView, but what prop firm are you using? Tradeovate. Oh, so you're trading one NASDAQ contract. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I recommend you trade 10 micros, and taking partials is going to make you a lot more money than setting a TP at final, because, you know, final TP doesn't come around too much. It does come around, but you're going to make way more money closing out 50-60% at first, because everyone's made money today. I mean, how to trade micros? You just trade the micro version of this, and on my Top Step X accounts, I trade micros as well. It's not like, you know, you're not going to make any money on micros. It's 1.5 contracts is what I trade on my Top Step X. So you want to trade MNQ, which is the micro version of NASDAQ. Yeah, micros is definitely the way to go. I mean, there's not too many people who should be trading full contracts. I've said this before, and if you're not trading more than 4 NASDAQ contracts, and you're not trading equal to 4 contracts on NASDAQ, you shouldn't be trading full contracts. You should always stay on micros until you're trading this. And unless you have a 300k account with Apex, then there's literally no point in you trading the full NASDAQ contract, to be honest. But guys, if your stop is at a different level to mine, because you're at break even at a different point to mine, don't worry. Just leave it at break even. Don't put it at mine, you know. Just leave it at break even, because a break even stop, which is valid, would be at 19150. So theoretically, you could put it at 19150. Milo, real quickly, can you explain what amount of contracts? 1 sec. Let me just check the 4 hour quickly. I want to see what it's looking like. Yeah, that's going to be a nice inverse. And if we close like this right now, then in the next 5 minutes, if we close like this, that will definitely accelerate price extremely fast, lower. But if we get taken out break even in the meantime, then is what it is. So let's get back to this question. Milo, real quickly, can you explain what amount of contracts I should use for a 50k until payout? I would trade 10 micros, 8 to 10 micros. The real safe option is 8 micros. If you trade 10, you're going to make obviously more, but you could lose more. If you trade 10, there's not much of a difference anyway. We're talking like what, $50, $100. I would trade using 10 micros. If you take a loss and you drop below 75% of your original drawdown on the account, then I would drop down to 5 micros and then go back to full position size after you take a W. I've actually stayed at full position size through the L we took on Monday. I believe some of you guys would have just got taken out at break even at 191.50. I'll most likely get taken out at break even because this 1 minute bearish should not have got inversed. That shouldn't have got inversed. Because for an algorithmic trade, every bearish confluence such as this should have got respected, and that shouldn't have got inversed. I mean, I actually couldn't have got a better entry. I think I had a couple ticks of drawdown on that. Because 9.45, it came up into that fair value gap, and I had literally 1 or 2 ticks of drawdown, which was pretty clean. How many of you guys are still in that trade? I'm not really too sure how many people would be still in the trade. I mean, I told you guys to set it at 191.50. As long as it's at break even, then, you know. So everyone's still in. Lovely stuff. I mean, if this 4 hour closes like this, we're going to see a sharp acceleration lower. And let's see if we can take TP2 any level. So the next point, which you could look to take a contract off, would be at 144, around this area here. Around 147, you could look to take another contract off. It's entirely up to you. I personally am not going to do that. I'm not going to take any off. I'm literally taking final at previous day low, and that's it. But guys, if you want to take 20% off around here, then feel free to do so. That's a possibility as well. Can't even find the chart now. Where is it? Hopefully we don't get taken out of break even prior to 10 a.m. because 10 a.m. is going to be there's going to be a lot of volatility coming in from 10 a.m. Just give it 3 minutes. It's definitely going to get inversed, 100%. There's no question about whether the 4 hours getting inversed. It's definitely getting inversed. Could you point on the chart where you thought price displaced for the trade? Yeah, so this trade was not a 2022 model trade. This is not something that's taught in the 2022. This was just a simple I for value gap short from the... So as you can see here, price came up. We had a bearish SMT for ES. So ES didn't take the high, but NQ did. So NQ took this high, and then the two fair value gaps created close to the New York Open. They got inversed, and you can actually mark an inverse fair value gap as a displacement. That's still a market structure shift. That's an overall market structure shift for price. When price inverses these bullish gaps, but you need a sweep of liquidity for an I fair value gap to be valid. We've seen a sweep of this I fair value gap. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So we've seen a sweep of this short-term high at 219.50 or whatever. Price then immediately reacted off that and tapped out of that 15-minute bearish fair value gap after taking out buy side. We inversed these two 1-minute bullish gaps, and that would be marking as your displacement. We was not inside of macro at this point, and some of you guys were itching to take the trade, and I know of course you were. And I marked that as a displacement. As soon as we got inside of macro, Yeah, about to hit 10 a.m. So that's the acceleration. You know, we're not even at 10 a.m. yet, but that 4 hours then it definitely get inversed. Could we trail our stops once we take this short-term low? Not really, unless we create another short-term high, which is clean. Then you could create and trail your stop. But yeah, we entered short of that IFA value gap. That's the overall thought process today. Nice. Let me mark it out. Bearish SMT for ES. So all that shows is just that ES is the weaker pair out of the two. So preferably you want to trade ES, but I mean, look at ES. It looks kind of disgusting today. That's why we always trade NQ, because NQ is always going to give you something. ES sometimes, on a day like today, ES is not even going to give you anything. But yeah, the point of sell side where you could possibly take some more off your position is at this point. So we have the bullish fair value gap resting below. What is this? This is just a random bullish gap inside the PM from yesterday. But yeah, at this point at 144, just above, you could take possibly 20% off. So 10 a.m. is confirmed. We've inversed the 4-hour bullish gap. We should start to see an acceleration lower in price here. I expect the next 4-hour candle is going to most likely draw lower. So let's see. Should start to see an acceleration towards this short-term low, possibly taking second TP at this level. But yeah, let's see. Where exactly is the 4-hour gap? Yeah, so the 4-hour that got inversed was this one here. You can see the lower 4-hour. So this one already got inversed. And then the lowest one here, it got inversed just now and closed at 10 a.m. You can see. So the next candle closed. And this 4-hour bullish, initially at the New York Open, close to the New York Open, it was actually getting respected. And if it did get respected, I would have looked for longs, target Asia highs and London highs. I preferably wanted to look for shorts today, but as price drawn lower and traded lower for lower prices, we already knew that this was going to get inversed. And then when we seen prior to the macro, this opportunity here, guys, this price action looks pretty disgusting today, as expected, but we still made money. So, I mean, who cares? It doesn't really matter, but around 30 handles or so. But yeah, once I seen price trade back into that 15-minute bearish fairway gap and get respected, then that's all I needed to see, to be honest. We also traded back into the 15-minute IFA value gap. We had a bearish SMT on ES and inverse these two bullish gaps. So that was a clean setup. Anyone here have any? Okay, so guys, if you want to take a second TP here, feel free to do so. You could take some more off your position, say 20%. I'm not actually going to take any off. I'm just going to remain the way I am at the moment. But yeah, this is a TP2 area. I'm just going to tell everyone else who don't want to watch the streams. Yeah, take around 10-20% off here. We've just tapped into that bullish gap. We have not taken that short-term low. There is a short-term low around here, but this is the lower short-term low with the bullish gap. That's just been taken now, so I would actually take 10-20% off here. If you got any micros, just take like 10% off here. Yeah, previous day low is definitely the draw. Let me take a look on ES, because if ES takes previous day low before NQ, then obviously we're taking our full position off. And I don't think that's going to be the case here. It's definitely not going to be the case. So every bearish confluence from here, as we, so, no, I do not want to reverse my position, thank you very much. You can see, so ever since we came back to the Eiffel Valley gap, we've literally had bearish, bearish, bearish. Every single candle's closed red. It's looking extremely algorithmic so far. Right, I'm going to take one contract off here inside this bullish gap. I'm going to change my buy limit at the bottom to 1. And then I'm going to edit my stop. I just took one contract off there. We're just hit 50% range of that bullish gap to the left of us. Okay. So this bullish gap is what I'm referring to. This one here. We just hit 50% range of that after taking sell side. So I just got my final contract at the low. By all means, we should continue towards previous day low anyway. But I'm going to secure some more gains on the 300Ks. Yeah, so it's around 54 handles. Yeah, how many of you guys secured that? How much is everyone making today? Put it inside the chat. $1.2. Easy gains. Quick 1.2, 800, 2.4. I think I'm up around like 50 bands on the day so far across all of the accounts. I did not take this on the live account though. It's a shame I didn't manage to get the entry on the live today. I got it on the Top Step and all the Apex accounts, but not the live, which is annoying, but is what it is. $197. Love to see it. 3.5, 3.4, 1.5, $876 times 5. Lovely stuff. So we should see this, if price trades back up into this fair value gap, it should get respected. This green candle is not usually something you see in an algorithmic play. Like, I mean super algorithmic since the last point of entry. This next candle should close red and just trade lower, to be honest. We shouldn't even really see a retracement back to this. But yeah, an algorithmic trade, it will just keep repricing and repricing lower, and it will never take a short-term high. Alright, I'm going to move my stop actually. Speaking of short-term highs, I'll move my stop at 178. Yeah, get your stops to 178. $22, 178. Okay, so we've just taken this next short-term low. Try your stops again, just above this fair value gap at 163.75. That's a huge move lower. 163.75. Move your stops. Move stops at 22, 163.75. If this next candle closes like this with this bearish fair value gap, I'm going to move my stops at this short-term high I just want to see this next candle close with this bearish gap, and then that will be the confirmation for me to trail to 152. So for people who are only taking full position at final, then securing gains by trailing your stop is the best way to go, to be honest. But I do recommend you actually take partials along the way, because I mean I've already secured 50 handles. Easy gains on the day so far. So just off one contract I'm up 1.3 across 20 accounts, which is pretty insane. I closed out 2 contracts at 33 handles for 900. Yeah, lovely stuff. Okay guys, move stops to 152. 152. 152 dead on. We shouldn't see price trade back up into that short-term high. This bearish fair value gap here should send price to final TP at previous day low. We shouldn't even see it take the short-term high, because in an algorithmic trade like this, it should just trade all the way to previous day low. Could have let it run, but I was already down 1k on the funded combine. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, first EP was at that point of sell side. So if that recovered that, then that's all good. 1.1k times 3. Easy 3.3k. Lovely stuff. If price creates a new 5-minute fair value gap, would you move your stop lower to short-term high? Oh, that's yeah, never mind. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if we create another bearish gap below this short-term low, then obviously we trail our stops to this short-term low here. This is, for me, quite an aggressive way to trail stops, because usually it's 2 short-term highs behind. But price, now we have a bearish gap resting below the short-term low. It shouldn't even trade back to this at 152. It should just trade lower towards the previous day low. I mean, a few of you may wonder, and some of you already know, but why do I run my final TP above the final TP? For the sake of a couple handles, guys, I couldn't care less. I mean, what's that, like couple $1,000? And for some of you, it's like 3 handles is nothing. And if price creates equal lows and then doesn't fill me for final TP, then I'm going to be pissed. So for the sake of a couple handles, I leave my final TP resting above the previous day low. Someone said, don't be a dick for a tick. I mean, that's probably the best phrase. I'm probably going to fucking write that down. But that's completely true. You know, there's no point missing out on final for the sake of a couple handles. If we get taken out, it's not a problem. I mean, be around 60.75 handles. When you say previous day high or low, do you refer to midnight from 6 p.m? Yeah, simple as that. It literally from 00 to midnight is literally the session from the previous day. So that'll be previous day high, preferably the New York session. So the New York session, because anything outside of New York would be either Asia or London. But yeah, previous day low. I believe that was the PM session. The New York PM from yesterday, this low here at 103. But yeah, we should see this 1 minute bearish get respected and accelerate lower. If it gets inversed, then I'm happy to get taken out, because that shouldn't happen. So from midnight at 16:45. Yeah, I believe that's correct, yeah. So just from the previous day when the market closed. Also, there's a new YouTube video coming out literally straight after this stream. It's already edited and pre-recorded, so that's going to be coming out. I'm breaking down one of the trades that we took a couple weeks back, so stay tuned for that as well. You guys can feel free to watch that after this stream. I'm going to delete this. This is obviously the end of macro line. It doesn't matter at all. But yeah, guys, flying to Miami on the 28th, actually. On the 28th of February, end of this month, last day. I've got a flight from Miami, I believe it's to Dubai. I don't even know, to be honest. I have to stop in Dubai, and then fly from Dubai to Miami. I'm not really too sure, to be honest, but yeah. Be in Miami on the 1st, around the 1st or the 28th. Be landing in Miami, so that'll be good. I'll be back in Brickell. Are you still in Dubai or back in Thailand? I'm back in Thailand, guys. I'm back. Yeah, I left Dubai. I actually arrived back this morning. I got back this morning. And there you have it. So just got taken out for our trading stop. And that shouldn't have happened if we was to go to previous day low. So I'm happy to secure gains there for 60 handles. And that's us done for Wednesday. I mean, price action was decent. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty slow towards the start, but it started to pick up as that 4-hour bullish gap was inversed. So as expected, you know, we got that acceleration for price towards second TP as well. Why is Instagram trying to... Do you want to make money on Instagram? Fuck off. I don't want to make any money on Instagram. Don't give a shit. Alright guys, let's get some fucking W's in the chat. Let's spam some W's in the chat. Let's get them in there. Spam it in the chat. And also put how much money you made as well. Let's spam it in. Easy 2.4, 1.5, 900. Yeah, lovely stuff. 13k. Crazy stuff. Yeah, that kind of wraps up Wednesday. So we're done for the day here. And FOMC meeting minutes inside, I believe it's in the PM session. So guys, PM session's not something you want to be around with, you know. PM session's going to be most likely very volatile, highly manipulated, and something you're not going to be a part of. The second day of macro, I mean, if you are going to trade second AM, you could. We've already secured gains. I advise not to. I'm personally done for the day here. But previous day low to get taken on either NQ or ES. If it gets taken on ES, bullish SMT, you can look for longs to target, you know, New York, well, close to New York Open or London highs. But yeah, guys, I'm done for the day here. Easy, around 50 to 60 bands on the day across all accounts. Got to get on the camel today. Yeah, I'm out of Dubai now, but that was crazy. Yeah, I went on the camel and it just feels like a massive dog. It feels like a huge dog. I've never been on the camel before. I don't know if you guys have, but that felt crazy. Yeah, it was weird. ES did not really move much. Yeah, I mean, that's why we trade NQ. ES sometimes is like this. When there's no volatility and it's a little bit slow, then, you know, ES is going to be extremely slow. The guy is fascinated by camels. Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. So I'm going to upload this stream on YouTube as well if you guys want to rewatch it. And that other YouTube video, which I just recorded, is going to be out shortly. Guys, take care. Have a great rest of your evening or morning, wherever you are. We'll be back tomorrow for the AM session.